Hey guys, today we're going to be looking at the top 5 Cypher cam spots on every map. First, let's start with Ascent. This cam on A site is excellent if you have to retake the site later in the round. It's placed behind the enemies as they come into sight, and it's on the right of the wall as this gives a full view of the site. Next is this cam in B site high up on the wall. This cam not only gives a great view of the B site, it also lets you see into B lobby to give early information about enemy pushes. This next cam gives excellent info about B lobby, but it's quite tricky to place and pretty visible if you use it early in the round. You want to let the enemy team push into B main before using it, so it's behind them when you activate it. A quick alternative is in the cubby here. This gives sight of B main, and it can be used here if the enemies are pushing. Number 2 is the first attacking cam on the list. I've added at least one attacking cam for every map. This cam gives a great view of the mid courtyard, alerting you to any flanks by the defending team. It's well hidden behind the light, so it's pretty hard to see, and it can give you info if you want to challenge someone pushing from mid cubby early in the round. Finally, the number 1 cam on Ascent is this cam giving a great view of mid and the defender's spawn. This cam gives so much information to the defending team, giving them an advantage in any fight in the middle courtyard. Its placement high up on the wall meaning it's pretty hard for the attacking team to spot, especially with the light behind it. Make sure you use this cam on defense and check for it on attack. Next up is Bind. The 5th best cam is above the B window. This cam gives a great view of sight for any potential retakes, and by looking straight down with it, it gives you a view of anyone sitting on the window. You can use this information when you're pushing from spawn to pre-aim anyone holding you from any of the angles in sight or the window. Next is the attacking camera, which will show you if the defending team are trying to flank you through your spawn or link. You want to place it on the wall opposite to the site you're pushing, as then it will be behind the enemies when you activate it, making it much harder to spot. This next cam gives a great view of the entrances to A site, letting you counter any enemy pushes from wherever you're playing within the site. You'd expect this cam to get destroyed a lot as it's in quite an obvious place, but because you have to check so many angles on attack as you push into the A site, it's commonly missed. This next cam is in B site too, but it beats out the last one as it's much more hidden but still gives great information. This cam excels at giving info once the attacking team have already pushed into site. If you have to retake site after a plant, this is the best cam for it. You can see all the common plant spots and defensive positions around the spike. It even gives you a view of lamps, so you can call out to your team if the attacking team are rotating through there. Finally, the number 1 cam on Bind is in A site, high up above this wall. Not only does this cam give a great full view of sight, but it also lets you see into B long. This lets you know where the enemy team are pushing from early on, so your team can rotate as needed. It's still useful in a retake situation, and because it's so high up, it's pretty well hidden. Next up, it's Haven. This first cam is a bit situational, which is why it's 5th on the list, but it's got me a lot of kills. If you aren't attacking the A site on Haven, it's pretty common for the defending team to attempt to flank you from there. Using this cam, you can catch anyone attempting this off guard, using the cam to get information about them and pre-aim and kill them easily. 4th on this list is the cam outside the window on A site. Similar to the cam on Bind, it gives an excellent view of both the entrances to site as well as the site itself. It's also generally missed by the attacking team as they push in, as they're worrying about angles from where they can get shot. The next cam is again on A site, but it's much more hidden. You have to jump out the window and land on the boxes in the middle of sight. Careful when you do this, as if you miss the box you'll take full damage. This cam is excellent for retakes as you can see all the commonly held positions in sight, and it also gives you a great view of anyone pushing into sight from sewers. The second best cam on Haven is another attacking cam. As the attacker side of the map is pretty much a straight corridor, this cam lets you see pretty much your whole spawn. Using this cam, your team should never be flanked on Haven. It's especially good as it's hidden behind anyone pushing from C site and it's camouflaged in the shadows if anyone's facing it. Finally, the best cam on Haven is high up on the wall of C site. You have to place it from on top of this box and place it as high on the wall as possible. This gives a clear view of sight, but it also lets you see down C long. From the perspective of the attackers, it's pretty much invisible due to the wood in front of it. Once the attackers are inside, it's behind them and so far up on the wall that they're bound to miss it. This leads us nicely onto the final map split. The 5th best cam gives an excellent view of the top of mid and is very well hidden from the attackers. If the enemy team are repeatedly pushing through mid, then this is the cam for you. You'll be able to call which site they're about to push and use information from it to pre-aim anyone if you want to challenge them. Although it's very well hidden, its line of sight is a bit situational, that's why it's only 5th on the list. Next is the cam for B site. There are many variations of this cam giving a view of both B main and the site, but I found this one gets destroyed the least often. Not only can you see pushes from B main, you can also see the default plant spot and the back of B, where it's common for attackers to hold after they've planted the spike. I want to give a quick honourable mention to the cam here in B main. It's pretty well hidden, but it can be heard when it's activated, so it quite commonly gets destroyed. But it can win you the round if the enemy team is stacking up in B main. The 3rd best cam on split lets you see anyone pushing into A site from A main, and it's exceptionally well hidden, probably the most hidden cam in this video. It's very similar to the cam in mid, as it's so well hidden its sightline is pretty restricted, but in certain situations it's amazing. This is a good spot if the enemy team are constantly destroying your cams as it's so well hidden. Second on the list is the attacking cam. This cam used to be even better in the beta, as you could place it further back making it much more hidden. This cam gives you a full view of mid and lets you see any late enemy rotates in the round. Be careful though, as you don't want to place it too early as it will just get destroyed. Once the defending team are distracted, you can place it, then use it to let you know if the enemy team are flanking you. This brings us onto the final cam, and it's on A site. From A window you can place it onto the corner here. Not only does it show you the site, but it gives a view into A lobby, letting you see early in the round if the enemy team have spawned there. It's pretty well hidden, and as it's behind the enemies as they push into site, they hardly ever see it. This is a great all-round cam as it gives great early round, mid round and post plant information. This was a new style of video for me, so I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please subscribe. Thanks for watching!